We're back. We're
I
trying
know,
to
been
do.
a minute.
I'm home from Mexico.
Yes, you look a little tan.
Thank you.
It looks
Also,
really
that light that I just got excited about didn't turn on. Oh, I'm
Oh,
so upset.
here, yeah, mess with it
It
now.
did before, but okay, whatever.
Come on, Apple.
Whatever.
Get it
I
together.
bought a nice like live stream camera.
Yeah,
So um something that my boyfriend and I talked about in Mexico because he streams, he's a gamer, you know
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And he's got like this nice setup, but like I travel so much. So part of the reason why I kind of stopped live streaming and well, I needed a break, but was
yeah,
like I was always looking for the right setup. And you get into this like, what does the background look like? And oh, I've got to have all this. No, like, no. The
hmm
whole point of live streaming is to just like off the cuff, do your thing.
yeah,
So I'm going to stop. Claude and I have had quite the conversation about what the next step in distribution is when we're building products and we're building, brands and whatnot. Um, and wait, did you just freeze? Where did you go? Uh-oh. What just happened? Oh, she's frozen. She's frozen. Oh no. What just happened? Okay, hold on. It's just me. What just happened? I'm still live streaming with her poor face. Oh, what happened?
girl. I don't know. All of a sudden, it was just like connection lost. I'm like, I could still see it on TikTok. I could still see. I'm like, what connection? Everything else is fine. Okay, well,
That's so crazy. That's
mhm.
so funny. Because you were just frozen. Not in
Yeah,
a bad way. You were like,
I know. I just I looked down. I was like, I'm not moving at all on the
what's
camera.
happening there?
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
sorry
Okay,
about
so
that.
I see your TikTok. We'll see if there's any. It says Brooke J. Lacey joined. Excellent.
Okay.
The the ones the comments on yours, it's still the same as what's on me, right? I think
I
so.
think so.
Because why would yours say Brooke J. Lacey joined?
Yeah.
Actually, hmm. You go watch mine. You go pull up mine and we'll just see if
Yeah.
those
I'm watching yours.
okay.
I see it. Yeah. It's so weird that it's not like the chats aren't pulling up.
That's okay.
I feel like it used to do that, but all right.
We are figuring it out. Do I
Love it.
sound okay? Because I'm not even using the AirPods because
No,
Claude
you
told me
sound really good.
the
Yeah.
AirPods. Okay.
Yeah.
Yay! Here we go.
Now we're here. We're here.
Now we're here. So the big thing for me lately, like has been, oh, I just am so burned out by content creating and blah, blah, blah. Like, get over yourself. Get over yourself. Like,
It's
what did
valid.
you do all of this for if not to create distribution? Something that I don't know if you know who Ryan Serhant is. He was like on Million Dollar Listing. Anyway, he's like totally disrupting the luxury real estate market
Okay.
in New York. And then like there's a Netflix show called Owning Manhattan and Million Dollar Listing, but that's an older one. That's what he started on. But he says he's building a media company that just also happens to sell real estate. And they have like
Mm.
billions and billions in real estate deals. But he is creating this media brand and he's got an in-house he's had this for a while, but now it's kind of breaking out into huge reach.
All right.
So the stuff that like you've now been doing for the last few months, really like going hard on media and content, and seeing the power of it has like really motivated me to get over myself and keep doing this, because
Yeah.
just because I don't like it, don't be
It,
precious, Brooke. Like if you're good
yeah.
and it's like free, then you need to do it.
Right.
So,
And that's fair to get burned out. I could see it. I feel like people don't realize how much work it is of like
yes,
you're posting like a 2-minute video and it could take a few hours of
yes,
production to get that thing out of like
right,
right like getting the script, filming it,
yes,
editing. Like it's
editing,
a lot more than people think. Like
right,
sometimes people like see it and they think it's super easy. So no,
right.
it's very fair to get burned out. It's hard work.
And those videos that, um, some of the ones that are my funniest with facial expressions are the two-person one. And I know I've said this before, but like in particular, the one, of course, if you're on TikTok, it didn't really hit on TikTok, but the one on Twitter that, the Women in Web3 panel video. So those of you on TikTok and LinkedIn and wherever else this is streaming, hello, everyone. I don't know if I can even see the chat for maybe for like Twitch and all of that. I thought
Mhm.
I could see them all, but anyway. Oh, that's just for if I want to type. So the people on Twitter, if there's even people watching, I don't know. There was a very viral video in 2022. 2022?
Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
pretty.
Women in Web3 video. It was fucking hilarious. It blew up. It has like 800,000 views on it. But and I think people didn't really get it because it was so specific to like our industry.
Very
However,
specific. Yeah. Very
that
neat.
took me almost a week of like preparing and writing things down, and like people are like, "Oh my god, you're so funny." And it's like, "Well, no, I'm just a good editor."
Right. It's not yeah, this didn't come just
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Like this was a lot of
Putting
work.
the literal scene of like me being like women in web3, and then the other character scene with the like no is so intricate that it was more than a minute. It was like a minute and 10 seconds. And I sent it to Jen Facino. I remember this specifically, that
Mhm.
she wrote back. She was like, this isn't funny. Like, this is just not funny, because it was too long and those jump cuts were just a little off. So then I
Mhm.
was like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. Like, this is too much work. Like, I don't get it. And then I sat down with it, and the whole point to this is like, it takes so long just to get a 50-second video that
Yeah.
makes that's that funny. I'm funny, but I'm not funny just like it doesn't just like cut to the next scene.
Yeah.
So I'm just, well, first of all, I'm proud of you for just going ham on this, because it's hard to start out. Not that you're just starting out, but
Let's
for
start it. Yeah,
people
it's
that,
expanding.
yeah, expanding and getting the reach and doing all of the things, it's just a lot. But now I really see the importance of it. And I'm glad you're doing live streaming. I know the first live stream you did was with me. It's tough, especially if you go solo.
Yeah.
So Claude and I are talking, there's when we keep talking about distribution moat, that Claude seems to think, my best employee, Claude, seems to think that live streaming is the biggest moat, especially if we're
Really?
talking about AI,
Oh.
because there are people doing it, but they're not doing it in the way of like explaining things. They're meaning like AI coding and building stuff. It's like, oh, build in public. That's not there. People aren't really live streaming that. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's
Interesting.
my plan, is to do more. And you were able to get really good clips from last time,
Yeah,
which
I've been
which
playing
is
with different
helpful.
tools of yeah,
Yep.
clipping and it's all just fun. I'm playing around
Yeah. What did you
with things.
use?
That was all in TikTok. The TikTok Live has a great clipping function just like built in.
Dude,
I like just stumbled upon it and played with it and yeah, that's been really cool. It made it super
cool.
easy. Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that.
I'll show you.
And it says that yes, we could stream to Instagram, but
Yeah.
Instagram doesn't really put live streaming first. It's the clips
Right.
afterward. So
Right.
that's
Reels and
great.
clips. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where I get the best, yeah, engagement on Instagram for sure.
So tell me
Reels.
what's going on in life. What's happening with
Yeah,
you?
girl. Well, I was in New York last week. I got
Yeah.
back on Monday. It was more of like a leisurely trip.
Yeah.
Took my kids out, so family trip. It was their first time in New York City, so that was fun. Kind of random ragged for like 5 days.
Got to do it.
2 different Broadway shows, a Michelin star restaurant.
What?
All like that was my son's. So this was technically like his
His
graduation trip.
graduation. Yeah.
And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to see the Stranger Things show on Broadway. 10 out of 10. So fun.
I've heard.
And then we went to Maria, a Michelin. I think they have 1 Michelin star. So fun. It's so delicious. What else? Man, we went to like the Museum of Natural History.
Oh.
And spent like so long in the butterfly room. There was this volunteer there, and I think he was like just starting college soon or something. And like clocked it immediately. I was like, oh, this guy is super autistic. But he was awesome. And he like his special interest, he straight up told us, he's like, oh yeah, my special interest is insects. And he was going off and like going into all these details about these butterflies.
Yeah.
Like he knew everything, but he was able to phrase it in such an interesting way. Also, his storytelling skills were incredible. And just he was telling us all about the different butterflies. And then there was a case with like the cocoons or whatever, and where they would like put them up and like they were like hatching. Do they hatch from a cocoon? I don't know. But the little like new baby butterflies were coming out, and they like hang upside down. He was telling us all about like why they do that, and like the blood stuff. It's not really blood, but like has to take time to like go through the wings for like a couple hours, and it was just really interesting. And he was just telling us all about it. But
I love that.
That was really fun. We went to my daughter, she's 9, like her big thing, she learned about Canal Street from TikTok. And she really wanted to go to Canal Street. And I was like, okay, like awesome. That sounds super fun.
Yeah.
So we went down there, and it was crazy because I don't know, I went the day of the Knicks parade, but it was like in the afternoon. So the Knicks parade was in the morning in like the southern tip of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And Canal Street's down there. And so it was so crowded.
What did you learn from TikTok?
I don't know. She stumbled across somehow Canal Street TikTok. I think she was looking up stuff to do in New York.
Yeah.
So she wanted to get like a bag. And so we got her like a cute little like Louis Vuitton Speedy, like a tiny, I don't know if it's in here, but it was so cute. She loves it. She just carried it around the city the rest of the trip. It was so fun. But that was an adventure. And then I was able to like spend a little time for me, had a couple like meetings, couple coffee meetups with some different people, which was great. Got to like walk like the High Line in Chelsea, went over to like Hudson Yard or whatever it's called. I don't know. It was just really fun, just exploring. It was definitely in like lower Manhattan. Didn't really like, I think the most north we went was like the south bit of Central Park, but
yeah,
so fun. Oh yeah, we did like a statue of the whole Statue of Liberty thing, like took the little boat over, had a tour. I don't know.
That's
just
so good.
Ultra tourist mode. It was awesome. I was walking like 20,000 steps a day. Yeah, it was perfection. You need to tell us about Mexico. You swam with whale sharks, I saw.
I will. I was just looking at are we streaming on X? Does it show?
Yeah.
We're still trying to like figure out our shit here. Okay, it is. Okay. We'll get more followers.
Yeah.
So it was great because everyone's like, oh, how many, what did you guys do? And I was like, we were literally there for 13 days. Well, I mean, including travel, like 13 days. And we rented a house just north of Cancun. And because we did get a comment. Oh no, never mind. Whoops. Sorry, 1 second.
No, you're good.
Um, with how much travel we do, like, every time you tell somebody like, "Oh, we were in Miami and we did this and that," and it's like, yeah, but we were working and we were networking and we were
Right.
like being, blasted by tear gas. No, I'm kidding. Um, and it's not like you and I are like, let's go down to the beach,
I know.
like
We're not good at
maybe
that.
we could, but it's rare. Or
I
even like if we're
I know.
staying at a nice hotel and there's a pool, we still don't really do
We
that.
don't. We need
So
to be better at this.
yeah, so 2 years ago, he and I had gone to Mexico, and did the similar thing, just, like, did nothing. Literally
Amazing.
nothing. So I only have the one fun story of, the Sunday. It was a couple days before we left, and we were gonna go, so there was some storms, like, it's June, and
Yeah.
the, seaweed was bad, but I'm not, like, a beach person. Like, the house we rented had a private pool, and
Perfect.
like, it was very fancy and very bougie. However, we didn't spend money on anything else. Like,
Right.
we had
Like,
food delivered, so it had a little path down to its own, like, kind of semi-private beach, but the seaweed was just bleh. If
yeah.
anybody's ever been to anywhere that gets, ocean seaweed, it's gnarly. Thankfully, we couldn't smell it, so that was good.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
It smells bad. So the day before we were gonna go, I was like, "Oh, it might rain today. I don't know." And then it ended up being a beautiful day. But we went to the next day, we went to swim with whale sharks with a company called Seahawk Adventures or Seahawk Diving, something like that. And two different people had told us to go with them. And
Okay.
it was pretty pricey, but you're on a boat with only 10 people,
Okay.
including you. And, the guy that we went with, you have to go with somebody who loves his job. And he's like, "This isn't a job, like, this is the greatest thing in the world. I get to do this every day."
Yeah.
So,
Amazing.
I have a video. Next time I'll play it, but,
Okay.
um, it it's so hard to describe what that was like. And I remember my friend Brittany, our friend Brittany, who
Mhm.
now, is working for Meridian, but I remember telling me, like, "It's life-changing. You have to do it. It's the most incredible thing." And she's not wrong. Like, the first time I went down, I was a little nervous. I don't scuba dive. I don't really snorkel. I have sinus issues. Like, I have my congestion issues. And if you put that on, it like suctions to your head,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I gotta breathe through my mouth. And there's like, stuff going on in my sinuses. Oh my God, I'm so
Yeah, it can be
ridiculous. But
intense. Yeah.
it's intense. And you're out in the middle, you're 25 miles off of Isla Mujeres. Like, it's out there.
Oh,
And the
wow.
whole ride, like, the boat is going at top speed.
Oh,
And so
girl.
you're like, I mean, it's a fucking roller coaster. So, but that was fun. I liked that. And then we get out there and there's all these other boats that are also looking for the whale sharks because they come up to feed. And they have these big mouths and they like come up and they're real slow and they come across the top because that's where all the like little food things are that they're eating. They're little microscopic things that like get into their mouth. It's the most amazing thing
Yeah.
because also they don't care about the humans. If anything, they kind of like go toward you. I do this, but they're huge.
Wow.
They're probably 12, 15 feet long. Um, and so
Oh.
I jump in. The guide is kind of holding my hand because I'm like, I'm nervous. I don't breathe through my mouth a lot, And
You're not a mouth breather.
no, I'm not. And my boyfriend he's scuba dived since he was 12, so he was
Oh.
like, no prob, Bob. And he's also very skinny. Like he could just, but he we got out into the first one and there was a second one that came up that he went towards. So I have the guide like pulling me and the whale shark has this like energy that comes off of it and you get into this like stream with him. Oh
Yeah.
my God. It was like, and you could just feel his energy because like I said, they almost feed off of your energy. And there was like 80 of them. They were everywhere. So there, you weren't just like sitting around waiting. The next two go in, the next two people go in, the next two people, then you take a break, because you're not just snorkeling, you're not just like watching them. You are swimming, like you're
Oh,
going and
super
you're
active.
next to them. It was
Oh,
crazy. So the
like
second time we went down, he saw the one, and he's coming toward you like this. You're literally looking at this huge thing coming, and then I was like mesmerized. And then the guy like pulled me out of the way, and you swim with it. And at that point, I was like having a hard time breathing because I was just so overwhelmed with how majestic this thing was. So I come up and I'm like, this was so cool. It was so cool. And the guide and my boyfriend were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
fine."
amazing.
Like, it was so good. It was so great. I felt his energy, and they're like, "You're weird." CJ didn't think I was weird, but like, he
No,
knows me. But it was just like, if anybody has the opportunity to go swim with whale sharks,
go do it.
pay for it 1000%.
Okay, good to know.
Don't do a bunch of dinners, just pay for that. And then you come back and you like the park and you have some ceviche and they make you guacamole, and then you
Ooh,
just kind of swim in like the crystal water, and then they bring us back to the wherever our port was that we were at. So it was
amazing.
incredible. But the most cool thing was just sitting out on the patio of this rental house and working and
Yeah,
chatting about life for
yeah,
12 days.
dude, amazing.
You
Yeah,
got to do it. You have to live your life now. And I've always done this. This isn't like, oh, now I'm getting older and have money or whatever and I can do this. I have always done it. Even if I needed to be on a cheap, vacation, life is meant to be lived.
yeah. No, totally, totally. Yep, you got to do it.
Yep.
It's very
Well,
cool.
what's happening with any of the projects you're working on? I was
Yeah,
going to tell you that this whole idea of fractional CTO work has actually come up in a couple of meetings that I've had, just in terms of like these companies that they're like, we don't have we're not going to hire someone on just to do all of our AI, automation or data cleanup or whatever. We need to, and I said, well, there's, this idea of fractional CTO or fractional
whatever.
COO or whatever. And so I was like, I've been kind of going at this with either doing just like some consulting or
Yeah.
coming up with like an automated piece to just send them. Have you been doing both of those things, like coming up with an automated like program for them, or you're doing a lot more consulting with like blockchain and
Yeah,
using AI tools?
yes, that would be most of it. I'm trying to I kind of want to do a pivot of helping of like starting to, I'm just seeing a lot of need for this space specifically where you come in as a consultant and kind of help a company set up AI tools and learn how
Yeah,
to use them correctly.
yeah,
Especially like non-technical people might struggle with that a little bit
yeah,
more. But even technical people, I've seen like some engineers who aren't great at using like Claude Code or Cursor
right,
or whatever it is. Um, just being able to come in and help with that is
right,
starting to kind of pop up on my radar a little bit. So that's
same,
interesting for sure.
yeah,
But like definitely what keeps me the most busy right now is pretty much like I think sometimes they call me like the fractional CTO, but it feels like it's just like a glorified like one man show, full stack
yeah,
developer. Um, just because I can, where I'm like, oh
yeah,
no, like I don't need to hire someone. I'll do it myself and it
yeah,
works and it's faster and cheaper than
yeah, exactly.
hired it out. And so, yeah, it's kind of interesting because I'm like, I don't know exactly like what my title is and like what do I do? Like, what would you say you do around here? It's hard to describe sometimes. I do need to work on that. I'm like, I need to figure out how to frame this and how to sell it, how to sell myself. So far, I've everything's kind of been inbound. I've done very little like outbound,
Yeah.
like for contracts.
I mean,
But
I feel like you tweet about it. Sometimes you tweet about it.
yeah, sometimes I just like I put it out into the universe
Right, right,
and
right.
see what happens. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna put it out there every once in a while, not obnoxiously, and then and see what happens. And
No,
it's like,
you have to, that's
yeah,
what you have to do. Uh,
I know, but I feel like it's a constant battle between, yeah, selling yourself and then keeping your brand exclusive. Have you
right,
ever like have you thought about this? Have you felt this? Where so one of the meetings I had in New York, it was really interesting. He does like fractional CMO work, and it was super interesting to kind of hear how he runs his business, what he does, and he pretty much like comes in knowing it's going to be like a short term,
right.
like 3 to 6 month. I think he said is his most common
Yep.
contract length. And he just comes in and gets things set up, and he has like a template he's created of how to
Yes.
evaluate these companies and how to get them out like going. But he
Yep.
does, I think, almost like no marketing about it, nothing.
Yeah.
It's all he just does he makes these in-person connections
Yep.
and then word of mouth. And he says it helps him keep his like brand like exclusive and high. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's I love that for him. But also he kind of has the name going for him.
Right.
He's already had a lot of success in other
Right.
ventures. So that kind of, gives you a leg up when someone like me who, I've had my own successes, but not at the same level. And
Right.
yeah, how do you sell yourself but keep your brand exclusive? I don't know. That's kind of where I'm like where my mind's at right now.
Well, so what I'll say is it's that goes back to that same building a media brand that just happens to sell real estate, like the Sirhant thing. And from what happened for me, like in 2020, was I had a web development business, and it was like everybody, all these like mom and pop stores or shops, whatever, here locally didn't have a web presence, and all of a sudden they're shut down, and they're like, what do we do? Like, we can't sell products or services. We need a website. And so like 2020 was one of my biggest years ever. And it's because I sat around my house making TikTok videos and Facebook videos and talk. And actually, that's not true. I had started doing the Facebook videos for my first company, Tech Savvy. So I had a local computer repair shop starting in 2010,
Yeah.
which, video wasn't really a thing until about 2013, 2012, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And just I found a video of me sitting in my car talking about ransomware. And I do have a point here. So the point was, it was like doing the content and getting myself out there, and never one time talking about, hey, come into Tech Savvy. I don't know why I did this. Come, because it was my phone. I was, holding my phone. Come into my computer repair shop, Tech Savvy, and have your computer repaired. It was the whole like Gary Vaynerchuk's idea of jab, 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 right hook. You give, you give, you give, you teach, you teach, you teach, and then you ask for what it is you're asking for.
Mm,
I personally don't agree with the whole like manifestation of like, you have to ask for what you're looking for. And I think I told you that at the beginning when you're like, I want to do consulting. Like, you have to ask for it. And I have
exactly.
a huge brand, and I'm still like, here's what I offer, here's what I am doing. And yes, there's something to be said about word of mouth. That's a huge thing. But to keep it exclusive, you still have to build a book. There's got to be a book of proof of work. And that could be from history of work, or it could be from 3 or 4 very well-known well-known entities that have become customers, that
Yeah.
they then provide the legitimacy. So for what I think that you're doing is doing the content, teach the things, give the information, even if you're reporting on stuff. And then that gives you credibility. And then
Yeah.
you talk about the people you've done work for. Um, and that's what moves it forward. But I don't think that I just disagree. And I mean, maybe this guy, I don't know who he is, whatever. But I do know the kinds of people. I do know that men have it easier. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Because they, as men, just automatically have legitimacy.
Yeah.
So we
See?
have to work harder at that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I kind of forget about that sometimes. That's a good point though.
Yeah. So I don't know if that like I'm just always going to keep it real. Like I had to work my ass off. So the things that I was teaching about, I remember once in maybe 2021 sometime, Facebook and Instagram went down for like 3 or 4 hours and people were flipping out because their data. And I did a video where I'm like, your data, you don't own your data. And I'm being all hand wavy and whatever.
Yeah. You know,
And I got probably 5 consulting gigs from that because I was global. I was, somebody from Virginia DM'd me. I don't know, somewhere over there DM'd me like, how do I get my data from Facebook? What do I do? And was able to charge whatever I wanted to charge.
Yeah.
And then I was able to do that for a couple companies. So you create the media and it will then come to you. In those cases, I did not ask for what I wanted from them. They reached out to me, but
you created you created the content that got their eyeballs and showed and like positioned you as an expert.
Correct.
Which is great. And I feel like that's so important. And that's I think something that's what we're doing. And that's what we're leaning into.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that there's going to be a lot for you to be doing on both the blockchain side and AI. Like you can offer things that come very difficult to most people. So it's like, just teach about that. I don't think Twitter's your audience, if I'm going to be honest, maybe for like the blockchain stuff, but I think people need to remember like who their audience is.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, with Jayla, I'm going to get all these influencers to talk about it. Well, their audiences probably aren't the ones that need Jayla.
Yeah.
You want to have the influencers that they themselves don't understand AI or whatever it is that your product is doing. You want the influencers or the UGC creators that are themselves your audience, because then they have audience that, does that make sense? I just realized that.
That makes sense. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I don't have time.
Yeah.
I thought the organic way. I am going to be using Apple ads, but that's I don't need to talk about that here. But when you are scrolling in the app store, you're already looking for an app. And so we're going to pay to play, because that's the way you have to do it. But it's like bottom of funnel. People are already in there looking for whatever you're doing or whatever your product is. So anyway,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's good. We didn't really have a plan on what we were talking about today, but
very organic conversation.
Yeah.
But we can get into the AI side of things.
Yeah.
Where I was thinking about this morning, and I think I wrote an X post about this, but getting into, okay, what does an AI native engineer look like? And what does that job description look like? And who are the people who are going to be so successful at this? And who's going to get replaced by them? And can any software engineer become an inherently great AI powered or AI enhanced engineer? And I don't think so. I think I'm like thinking back to some engineers I've worked with who are amazing and so brilliant, but they're extremely, extremely technical. And I think the future of software engineering is going to require more of a product mind.
Yeah.
And then you'll do your AI agent orchestration and validate the results, but it'll be more of a product level role rather than strictly engineering, unless you're getting into like something I've definitely realized with GirlCode, especially. It does great at things that it already knows how to do, like boilerplate stuff. lights out, 2
Yeah.
seconds later, it's done. The innovation side, it's not going to invent new things unless you give it
Right.
like extremely specific prompts. So you have to
Yep.
be like a really good at prompting. And then even then, sometimes on like some things, I just get in there and do it myself because
Yeah.
it doesn't quite understand what I'm telling it to do because it's something new and innovative. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, so how much of software engineering is actually doing that extremely detailed, innovative work
Right.
versus setting up a new API web service? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I feel like there's going to be like small sliver of those brilliant software engineers that will keep doing the innovation stuff. 99% of software engineering jobs and most companies won't even need that. They'll need
Right.
people who are great at using the tools and just can get a shit ton of code like shipped.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
true.
But what I'm like, is that already happening? Are people already hiring for that? And what is that title? What's that job title? I'm curious.
Isn't it called like forward facing or
I've seen forward deployed engineers,
yeah,
but those
forward deployed, which is like a little bit more like
that's
DevRel-y,
yeah, it's more of like
you
you're going to be
know?
talking
Yeah.
to business partners or
But I think
clients
they still
possibly.
consider the ones you're talking about, I think they still just consider them
Are they
senior, engineers. But I've seen a couple of companies like, um, I don't know if it's just been in articles or whatever, but companies saying, we're going to keep on our senior developers because they can make sure the output is correct.
yeah,
However, like, are those the most, dangerous when it comes to like, speed and efficiency and all of that? Or are those guys so set in their ways? So I don't think I haven't seen or like even researched, are there specifics, like
right. I'm wondering. I'm like, is there
roles?
going to be a different like job profile for
Probably.
these engineers? I'm keeping an eye out for it, and it really worries me for the state of junior developers.
Right.
Because how are they going to become senior developers in this day and age
Right.
unless they like I can't. Like what they have to do it themselves. They have to like force themselves to go through the pain that we used to learn in our first like one or two jobs
Right.
because we had to. But
I think that's the
whoa,
mental shift that people are seeing, especially engineers. The mental shift is, I'm becoming a senior engineer not because I, mastered Python, but that I mastered the AI tool that creates this AI augmented senior software engineer, because
right.
I can consider myself that now, because not because I mastered Python, but because I already understood Python. I'm just using that as an
Yeah,
example,
yeah,
and then got a hold of, Claude Code, and it removed that friction of me having to type it and then run the tests and do all of that. Like, I got to skip it. So
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
posted the other day, I reposted it saying like, the most dangerous person right now is the, 6 months ago, the person who was mediocre at coding, but now has taste and distribution. And I was like, oh, that's me. I should be a millionaire right
Yeah.
now. I'm
Go,
getting
go,
there.
go,
Uh,
go, go.
yeah, but it's the same. Like, it's you add all those things together. Like you said, it's product now. And it's like we've removed the friction of writing code. So if the junior engineers, is just what I think, start thinking about it that way, like, you can now say you're a senior, a software engineer, because your output is the same as a senior engineer was before AI.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. Like, the output that I've put forth in the last 6 months, um, has been at that level.
Oh, for
So
sure.
what else do call it? I mean, you still have to know what the output is. You still have to be able to debug it. And that is the whole product thing, is like, you're going through all of this with your AI augmented your AI tools, and you're like, wait, that's not right, because it's not perfect. This shit, like,
It
hallucinates
it
still, and
will
they
make
don't
stuff
know
up.
it's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's interesting. it gets weird. And then there's times of like what a few days ago, yesterday maybe, where Claude went down. Like one morning, I went into like to get some work done, and it was giving me like this error. I was like, "Are you there?" It's like, "Oh
Yeah.
no!" I felt so
See, like,
embarrassed.
I didn't have a problem because I'm ridiculous and I have a Codex Max and I have Grok. I'm not doing Grok heavy because that is the dumbest thing. Because it's like $400 a month.
Right.
But right now I'm like, these expenses I have to be at the level I am is so minimal. So I have the Codex Max. I've tried it a couple times on like going through Meridian and Jayla like code base and being like, look at this with a fresh set of eyes. But also because of that, like if something goes down, I have a backup.
Yeah, that's smart. Now I'm like, all right, so there's like perplexity that I think aggregates over a few different
Yeah, they
models.
need to get their
But,
shit together.
but we need to get a coding version now that like can like use different models and kind of and have redundancy if something goes down. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, like we're just gonna start aggregating all these models.
There's something, and CJ would be better at this because he's been doing a lot of research on the whole open router local LLM stuff, which I'm a really big local LLM pilled. I think it's really important people, if they have a fast computer, try it out. It is not good for heavy coding. Like people need to remember
Right.
that you can't do it. And I have a pretty crazy Mac that I just bought. It's not like the highest level, but it can run a lot of stuff, but it's certainly not going to run frontier level for coding tasks.
Right.
So, but that open router is costing people much, much less, and it's seeming to be frontier level speed and accuracy.
Mm.
So that's something that people can check out is
Yeah.
maybe they will sponsor this episode.
Always open for sponsors. Yeah, gotta plug it.
Yeah,
You never get, it's like open mouths don't get fed.
that's
Gotta
right.
gotta ask for what you want.
No, closed mouths.
Closed mouth. What did I say?
Open mouths.
Oh girl.
Dude, you have like 70. You're so popular on X. Oh, how funny. I opened X and Open Router is right here. Introducing the Open Router MCP live model intelligence right inside your agent. Yeah, I'm going to definitely check it out. But
Yeah, I need to look at that. I've been so caught up in other things. I haven't been getting into all the new different AI
right.
things. I definitely want to get into running things like local LLMs. Like I know like there's like Venice.ai does like
I
allows
used
you to
to
run
use
a lot of
Venice
things.
all the time. I actually got
Yeah.
a token airdrop from that. I used it so much.
Yeah. I need
I loved
to
it.
I need to get into that stuff more. It's been just more of like like being so excited I can that of the things I can create with these tools.
Right.
I kind of I got not didn't get as good at I slowed down on the learning all the
Yeah.
new tools. So I need to work on that a little bit.
Surf said Sakana Fugu out of Japan does this mixture of LLMs and is now close to Fable 5. Ooh,
Yeah,
Sakana Fugu.
we'll need to
I mean,
look on
that
that.
name just sounds cool.
It really does. But yeah, I don't even think we talked about this of like Fable getting the kibosh. Like that's
That
crazy.
is a whole, and I know you have about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing because when I got a hold of Fable, I immediately paid for the upgrade and then ran it like, what did I run it on? Meridian? Or I can't remember.
No,
And it
probably not.
ate 2 million tokens in 24 minutes. And I was like, what? And I was like, this did nothing different. It found a few things and like I made those changes, but
Okay.
I personally feel like, and I could be, I mean, I don't know. I'm not in like the industry. I don't know, but it seems like it was hype and that there's some, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I always have been, but oh, he says Jeremy Witt. Is that your name? because I called you surf,
Yeah,
don't swim.
is that Jeremy? I wonder if that's his account. That's
Do
someone
you
I
know Jeremy Wood?
brilliant person I know.
Ooh, I
Out
like
in,
that.
I think like West Palm Beach or something like that. I
Did
could
you
be wrong.
just dox him?
I'm just seeing if it's the same Jeremy Witt. We'll see. No, but
Um,
brilliant man, really nice, smart guy. So
I'm gonna look at
I wonder
this.
if that's his account, Surf Don't Swim. Anyway.
Sakana Fugu. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
I think that like even Trump went on a news show and was very clear that he does not like Anthropic's, antics, and it was political. So
Exactly.
Jeremy
Well,
said
I mean,
yes.
it all starts. So, okay. So that always this is where I get a little weird about it because didn't like there was going to be like there was a government contract that Anthropic turned down and
Yes.
OpenAI took it because, and Anthropic had said because like it, went
The
against their
security.
values.
Yeah.
And so it feels extremely political, right?
Yes.
Where I'm like, okay, so they're trying to shut down the company that wouldn't do what they wanted to do.
Yes.
Like didn't want, yeah, I'm like,
because it was Amazon there's this great Instagram video. I need to do a react to it because she's so brilliant. But it's the same. So like, it's like Anthropic and OpenAI, da da da. And then there's the investors, and then there's the hardware producers, and then they come back into them, and then they invest in the hardware, and then Microsoft's, and it's just this like cyclical thing of investors and purchasing and the market. But
we're all
Microsoft's
just selling
one of
to
the
each other.
biggest, Microsoft's like the biggest investor, biggest partner in Anthropic, and they're the ones who said, oh, this glitch or whatever, this not
Like
glitch,
it was like the
security
block, the
vulnerability.
controls were jailbroken.
Yeah,
They like someone was able to get around the block.
right. But like, I don't know. I always go back to this idea that like this whole good and evil, there's always a balance. Like electricity can cook your dinner and it also can cook the man.
Right.
You can pick up a hammer and bludgeon someone, or you can build a house.
Right.
You can use Fable 5 to to do good in the world, and you can also use it to build a cyber weapon. Like,
right.
I don't know what to tell you all, people. Like, it's going to happen. We know black hats. I know black hats. They've been around a long fucking time. And
Yeah.
the other thing to think about is like, it's not, more people are good than bad. It just is that way. You'd think it was the other way around. But after watching Maternal Instinct on Netflix, oh my God.
Girl. Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, just evil. And I'm a big like mental health thing and person, and I'm like,
yeah,
how did they not see this? But also that's why I don't think
sociopathy is something else though.
Sociopathy and psychopathy,
yeah,
way different things.
Yeah.
Super like they know what they're doing kind of thing. But it goes back to that there's just more good people than there are evil. It's just a way of life. There's less people that are going to use that tool for nuclear, for disaster than there is good people that are going to build good things. I truly believe that.
Yeah. I think so too. And that it just brings into question a lot of like, the legalities around these tools, like what new legislation is going to come because of these, because it's going to happen. Worse, like if that can happen where they're sent like a cease and desist or whatever, or like the like export control thing, okay, that means that there's going to be legislation. Yes. Because they're going to be like, oh, well, how do I know what rules to follow if there aren't any rules? And like, then, people are going to propose bills. It's going to be a whole battle. And it'll be the 80-year-olds in Congress that like barely know how to turn on a computer that are going to be the ones arguing this and passing these rules. And that concerns me, to be honest. And yeah, it's
but remember like when Facebook and the Cambridge Analytica stuff was happening years ago, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing. They were put in front of Congress, and the one guy, the congressman, was like, I don't even remember what he said, something about like the files are in the computer, kind of
Right. It was
idiot.
like it was so bad. It was
Yeah,
just
and so we're
straight up
not.
Zoolander.
It's
Yeah.
not different. Like this isn't going to be different, other than the fact that there's so much more fear around it, that I think that, Congress people are, I don't know. I hope that younger people get into politics. I really do. Like as
Yeah.
shitty as it is, that's still how our country operates, or the world operates, is like get into politics now so that you
Right.
can get these old guys out of there.
For real.
They're all going to die soon anyway.
It's true.
TikTok's
And
going to
I
shut
just
this
know I do
thing
not
down.
want to do it. Of all the things, so every once in a while, it's like I could totally fix this, and I'm like, no, I couldn't, and I don't want to deal with it,
Yeah.
and I don't like people, so it's not for me. But I hope someone else
No,
that's very smart
my
takes on the
son's
challenge.
dad, Brandon, he's been in the state that I have lived in for a long time, has been in the political world there, and he's gotten beat down so many times just about like his perspectives and stuff. But he's the kind of person that you want doing this stuff because he'll stand up for what he believes in. He will fight through all the red tape, and it's like there's people out there that will do it and that we
Yeah,
can support. Yeah, it's
he's
not me.
yeah, sure as hell not. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, such an adventure. But yeah, I'm really curious. That's definitely something I'm keeping a close eye on.
Same.
Any updates? Because it seems like they've been in talks. Like
Yeah.
Anthropic is straight up saying they're targeted for this, and that they didn't do anything wrong, and that
Right.
there's no way to do like KYC, like pretty much on these things. I mean, maybe they. I mean,
So
they probably could.
so I saw a video, Tech Unicorn, my friend Dahlia on Instagram. I love her. She said that what she heard was Anthropic is thinking about doing facial recognition.
Girl, I don't. I just get nervous. Like, did you read about this case where the guy was arrested based on AI facial recognition, giving it like an
No.
80% match to this criminal, and he had never been to the city, and he was arrested over it. Like the cops, and the like prosecutor, like didn't double check, didn't like verify
That's
if he could have
crazy.
even been in there. Like he was not there. He had verifiable proof he was not in that city. He had never been in that city. They arrested him over it, and he spent
Wait,
days
where
in
was
jail.
this?
Oh, where was this? It was so scary.
That doesn't make, to me, that makes no sense because like why would you use facial recognition and not like location data?
Because they're idiots. It was in Florida.
There. That's why.
Yeah, so dumbass Florida police. Yeah, let's see. The police used the
Like
surveillance
fucking
image of
Minority Report.
exactly. So they ran it through this AI system. Oh, the software allegedly produced a 93% match to Dylan, even though the crime took place 300 miles away from his home. The charges ended up being dropped. And then just in June, so this month, he filed a federal civil rights lawsuit.
Good.
And he's represented by the ACLU.
That's what you're going to run into. These prosecutors don't understand that you're going to get fucking sued.
That
Like,
I feel like it's
no
good. I feel
sense.
like this. I hope that he gets like good damages to kind of like
Because then it'll set a
show
precedent.
everyone and be like, if you mess this up, like,
Yep.
use the AI tool as like a preliminary screen, but then do your
Right.
job. Do your fucking job. Was he even in the city? Like,
That's the
use
first
your
thing
own
you
eyeballs.
do. Like this is it's crazy to me. So it'll set a precedent. Because if
For
you
sure.
like listen, we watch a lot of Dateline, a lot of true crime, and they would never, like never. Yes, you use the tools available to you, but like that's just common sense for detective work.
Right. How lazy. And
Like
then
that's lazy as
there's
fuck.
been a few things that have popped up on TikTok recently of like people, like college students, saying that they run their paper through like an AI system to check if it's AI, which
Yes.
these are notoriously not good at
They're wrong.
identifying.
Yeah.
And it'll come out at like 90% AI, and they will literally be like, I have like the Google history of me writing
Yes.
this paper over the past 5 months. And they
Yes.
like will just, their first response is like suspend the student and
Yes.
have them fail the class, even if they have the evidence of like, I have the Google like history here.
Yes.
And they have to like fight to overcome it, instead of it being the other way of like,
Right.
you'd have to prove that they used AI. They're just, anyway, using, I feel
When,
like
when I was doing graduate school in 2023, and that was when first ChatGPT came out. I started in early 2023, and that was a big thing at Boise State. Was like, we will fucking suspend you. We will get you out.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us were like,
It's
using
scary.
it as research,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you still have to like write your own shit.
yeah. Which
Thankfully,
makes sense. But
yeah.
anyway,
Okay.
running out of time, but so glad we got to do this.
Yes.
And our cute little chat and go over all these fun AI current events.
I love it. And I can't wait to see the clips. I mean, I'll look into it too, but I'm kind of like, oh, you'll do it for me.
I know.
I really want a clip of me being like, yeah.
Okay, I'll try to get some like shorter, just like reaction clips
Yeah,
for sure.
that would be good.
Okay, I'll do it just for
okay.
you.
I
But
love you.
thanks for everyone who came to watch us be ridiculous. This is fun.
Yeah,
We love
hopefully
it.
you learned something. Okay, bye everybody.